my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. Trust in Him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before Him. God is a refuge for us. Salah. In Psalm chapter 39, verse 7, used this the other night. It says, Now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in Thee. Thank you for standing for the reading of the Word. I thought, as I began to think about that, and I talked a little bit on hope Friday night, just for a moment, but I've been thinking all weekend about that hope. That hope that is only in God.
Come on.
And like I said, the psalmist David, he looked and he said, And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in Thee. What else is there to wait on when our hope is in God? And like I said, I tried to find something else, but I felt like that the Lord had something here for us tonight for somebody is needing some hope. And I thought we're living in a dark time when it seems like everything is hopeless. I was talking the other day, we was talking at work and talking about how things are. And it seems like you just can't get ahead no more financially or anything else. It just, there's always, it seems like something there that takes one little extra that you thought you might be able to accumulate. And I thought many times we practice hope in our daily events without even realizing that it's really hope. Because hope is a feeling of expectation and a desire for a certain thing to happen. And I thought, we expect things, we hope for things all the time.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of these kids, I remember when I was in school, especially, some of them liked school and enjoyed going, but I never did like it. And on a night like tonight, I would hope, Brother Jim, that the weather would turn and I'd wake up in the morning with about 6 inches of snow on the ground. There was a lot of hope there. Most of the time it didn't. I remember one night it was snowing and it looked like we was going to get a good, and I thought, well, I'm not going to do no homework tonight. There won't be no need in it. The next morning I got up, the road was clear, and I'd hoped for something that didn't happen. But a lot of times we hope for things. I thought every year I go out after the 1st of March and I buy a sportsman's hunting license. Not that I'm much of a sportsman, but I thought I hope to go fishing some, Brother Raymond. I hope to go hunting for different things, and that's why I buy that. And because I expect to be able to do those things.
Right.
I thought we hope for a lot of things. I thought we get up every day and we go to work and we do all the things that are at hand, and we look forward and we have hope that after all is said and done that we have enough extra that we can plan a few days getaway. We can take a little vacation. I thought Sister Kathy was on the computer today and looking at some into maybe some prospects of me and her getting away for just a couple days, and through the week one day I'll take a vacation and looking at some places we might be able to stay and some things that we might be able to enjoy, and I thought we've got hope that time will last and things will turn out that we can do those things, and I thought we've got all kinds of hope. But I thought a lot of times we fail to put our hope where it really needs to be.
Right.
I thought we're looking and we're waiting for so much when we need to be waiting on God. I thought, like I said the other night, we look around and we see a lot of things that we're hoping for. We look ahead and we see things that we're hoping for that might make a change. I thought that I mentioned the presidential candidates. I thought we could put our hope in a lot of things. But I thought, they're all making big talk. They're all making big plans. And I thought, but how much can they really get done? How much will the things really change? I thought because when I look at the things of this world and I see how things have gone and the way that this world is going, I thought, is there much hope? I thought Sister Kathy came in there this morning and I've always said Obama would do something, call martial law or something or other at the end of his term and he'd hang right in there. And but I thought, Sister Kathy came there this morning, she said, well, we don't have to worry about that. He's looking into being one of the leaders in the UN. He's wanting to not just be our nation leader, he's wanting to be a world leader. And I thought, so when we begin to think about that kind of stuff, Brother John, how much hope is there in this world? How much hope is there in the things of this world? Not to get political tonight and lose you or cause you to look, everybody has different political outlooks, but I thought there's not a lot of hope in the things of this world. But I thought, but when we look, like David said, and we say, now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in Thee. Right. We have our hope in the Lord. Right. Yes. Oh, talking about political things, my father-in-law, he and I do not see things eye to eye politically. And if you get to talk to him about politics, and he brings up his political party, and even though the things that he sees wrong there, he always has something to uphold, and that's fine. It's his political party. It's his viewpoint. And but I thought today he called and he's on the board of the Farm Bureau, and he's vice president of the Farm Bureau there in Estill County, and on the board, and he's going on a trip right now. Him and my mother-in-law went to Florida, and when he went, he said, man, they're giving us $50 a day to eat on. And he said, there ain't no way I could possibly eat, both of us $50 a day. That's doing real good. And well, he called us, yesterday and this morning, and he was talking about it, and one meal cost them $50 when they're having to stay. And he was just devastated. And Sister Kathy said something to him to the fact that she said, well, they're spending all of that money, when they could be lowering insurance prices. Right. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with the insurance. This is the Farm Bureau board. This is the board meeting. This ain't got nothing to do with the insurance prices. She said the money's got to come from somewhere. He wanted to uphold it. And I thought, a lot of times we do that. We look around and we see things that we know could be different. We know that there should be a change in. And I thought, but yet we're looking and we're saying, but there's no way that we can ever do anything about it. Why? Because it's where we've got our hope. It's where we're putting our trust. It's the things that we're looking for. Come on. And I thought we're waiting on something extravagant to happen. We're waiting on something that out of the, I guess you could say, out of the ordinary to take place, when we really should be waiting on the Lord. I thought we all have things that we look to and things that we can put our, we all have things earthly, really, that we entrusted in, that we're dependent on.
That's right.
I thought we all have jobs, and I thought there where I work, if time lasts till May the 3rd, I'll be there 26 years. Brother Danny's been there much longer now. I guess he's probably going on about close to 40 years, and so he's been there a long time, and I thought we depend on that. Right. We trust in that. But I thought in the last few years, there we can see how there's some things there that we have depended on, and we've learned to think that was going to be there for us. They're no longer there. The health insurance, they no longer offer that to us, and there's other things that we've learned that we can't depend on. It's not going to be there. And I thought, well, so we look and we realize we've got to trust in something else. And I thought, as for me and Sister Kathy, we can't afford nothing else. So, and it's sad to say it like that, but sometimes it's just the way the mentality of life is. We get to the point where I can't afford nothing else, so all I can do now is trust the Lord. What we should have done was trusting the Lord in the beginning. And I thought whenever David realized, he said, and now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in. David realized, I have gone as far as I can go with everything that I can physically do. Lord, I can't wait on nothing else but you. And I thought sometimes we got to get to the place where we realize that all we can wait on is God. And we got to quit depending on the things. I thought David is saying, my expectation is in you, Lord. Whenever he says hope, that just simply means my expectations are in the Lord. And I thought too many times we lose our expectations and we look around at all the problems and we see all the failures and we lose our hope. I thought it's so easy for us to lose hope. I thought we can look, like I said, at the world around us, and I thought it's easy to lose hope.
Yes, it is.
But I thought what we've got to realize is our hope is in the Lord. Mm-hmm. I thought I read a little story today, and it said a school system in a large city had a program to help children keep up with their schoolwork during stays in the city's hospital. And one day a teacher was assigned to the program, received a routine call asking her to visit a particular child. She took the child's name and room number and talked briefly with the child's regular class teacher. She said, we're studying nouns and adverbs in his class now. And the regular teacher said, and I'd be grateful if you would help him understand them so he doesn't get too far behind. The hospital program teacher went to the little boys that afternoon. No one had mentioned to her that the boy had been badly burned and was in great pain. Upset at the sight of the boy, she stammered as she told him, I've been sent by the school to teach you nouns and adverbs. And when she left, she hadn't accomplished much. But the next day, a nurse asked her, what did you do to that boy? The teacher felt she must have done something wrong and began to apologize. No, said the nurse. You don't understand. You don't know what I mean. We've been worried about this little boy. But ever since yesterday, his whole attitude has changed. His fight came back. He's responded to treatment. It's tough. He's responded to treatment as though he decided to live. 2 weeks later, the boy explained that he had completely given up hope until the teacher arrived. Everything changed when he came to the simple realization. He expressed it this way: they wouldn't have sent a teacher to work on nouns and adverbs with a boy that was about to die. He realized there was still hope. Somebody realized that there was still hope for this boy. They hadn't given up on him, even though he had given up on himself. So they sent a teacher down to teach him nouns and adverbs. I'm sorry, but when I was a little boy, I didn't want to learn that well, Brother Jim. Much less laying there with parts of my body burned up. But it made him realize they're trying to teach me this because they think I'm going to live. And I thought as I began to think about that, and I thought maybe I've done a feeble attempt to preach tonight. But I thought as I began to think, and now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in Thee. And I thought the Lord has laid this on my heart for some reason tonight. Because somebody has got to the point where they have lost their hope. They think that they don't have nothing else to push on for. But I thought God has purpose in all of our life. We just got to realize that our hope is in Him.
Yes,
I thought we're looking around for too many things to give us our pleasure, too many things to try to help us along, when we got to realize that our hope is in the Lord. I thought we can go to the hospitals. I thought we read this week in the news, and I believe it was in Cincinnati, I'm not sure, but I believe it was a 7-month-old baby was in the hospital. And And they came in, the nurses came in and found its mother unresponsive with a needle stuck in her arm. They went in the bathroom and found its daddy in the bathroom, unresponsive with a heroin needle stuck in his arm. They revived the dad, but the mother didn't make it. And I thought, they had hope in a drug. With a small child laying there, and obviously sick in the hospital, and them so dependent upon the chemicals of this world that they lost their lives. Or the mother did, and the father's in jail. And I thought, we've got a nation, a world full of people that's that way. When Brother Roger Boyd was here last year in revival, I stepped up here on the platform one night before church. My phone rang. I answered the phone, and it was on a Friday night, and it was the county coroner, and he asked me, my name, and I said, yeah. And he said, do you know certain? Yeah, I know him. Well, we just found him deceased in his room, living in one of those motels there. A fellow that worked for me. They found my business card in his wallet, so they didn't know who else to call. They called me. And I thought, just that morning I seen him. Matter of fact, I had picked him up that morning and took him to work.
Think about it.
And then Brother Evelyn's nephew took him home that evening. And I thought, but left all his hope. He'd given up hope. I talked to him. I tried to tell him. But he said, I can't help myself. Because he had put his hope in the things of this world.
Oh, God.
When we don't need nothing else but God. I thought when we quit looking at all the circumstances around us, and we look and we realize that our hope is in the Lord, we can come out. But as long as we're looking at circumstances, we can't make it. I thought sometimes, as a man, and as a provider for Sister Kathy, my kids is grown now, but as a provider of the household, sometimes I look at circumstances, and the enemy would try to tell me, you're a failure because you don't have this, you don't have that. But when I look at the Word of God, as long as I've got a godly household, then I can look and I can say, but under the world standards, Sister Minnie, I might be a failure. But in the eyes of God, my hope is in the Lord.
Yes.
And I thought as long as we've got our hope in the Lord,
Yes.
I thought that's all that matters.
Yes, it is.
I thought if you're here tonight and you feel like you've lost your purpose,
Oh, God.
and you feel like that it seems like there's nothing else to push on for, just realize that our hope is in the Lord.
Yes.
And continue to push. As they come against the song, I hope I've helped you. This is all I had. Like I said, I tried to find something else, but all I could think about was my hope is in the Lord. And I thought, as the psalmist said, what else do I look for? What else should I search for? He's saying. He says, and now, Lord, what wait I for? What am I waiting on? My hope's in you.
Yes.
Why am I sitting here in this place of despair? Why am I sitting here like I've got nothing to move on for? Because my hope is in you.
Yes, Lord.
Just like that young boy that's laying there in a hospital, burned up, and just give up. Didn't think he could make it. But whenever they came in to teach him nouns and adverbs, he realized, hey, they're expecting me to live.
Yes.
Somebody is expecting me to get out of here.
Yes.
And I thought he made a complete turnaround. That moment made a difference in his life. And I thought, if nothing else tonight, let this moment make a difference in your life. That God has sent me here in a feeble attempt to tell you that there is hope for you.
Yes,
There's a
Lord.
way
Yes,
for you
Lord.
to get out of the condition and the state that you have found yourself in spiritually. And I thought we have all at some time got our place into a place where we just physically and spiritually thought we couldn't make it. I've told the time a few years ago, I left here, started home on a Sunday morning, and I've made my mind up. It's not worth it. The press, the push, just not worth it. And then after I got home, Me and Sister Kathy began to talk, and I realized that not only was my life at stake and my soul at stake, but my children were young, and their soul was at stake. And I realized it's worth it. My hope is in the Lord.
Yes.
And I'm going to look around, and
God, help
I
us,
see
Lord.
what God's done for us, and I see how far He has brought us, and I realize my hope is still in the Lord. So that gives us a
Yes,
song
it
tonight.
is.
Let's pray.
Oh, God, help us tonight, Lord. Help us tonight.